Good afternoon. I don't know why I seem to have a title showing there. I have no idea where that came from. Maybe you didn't see it, but I did. Anyway, it is November the 25th? November. No, it is not. It is September the 25th. And I'm down here at the south end of town. You can see that things are yellowing up quickly now, but it's actually very warm. It's 31 degrees or 33 degrees, depending on who you believe. On Saturday, I intended to walk to the community gardens, the Grow Regina community gardens that I often do, and I didn't. And today I was out at the Wascana Country Club, and I thought I would walk out there, but it's really windy, so I'm not sure what my sound is going to be like here. So instead, I came into town a little ways. I'm going to walk a little bit around the community garden here, and then we'll go maybe along the south edge of town and see how it goes. University of Regina is right over there, but you can't quite see it from here. And yes, this is one of the community gardens. Probably not at its peak. We're probably getting into that fall. Things are drying out, turning brown kind of thing, even though it hasn't frosted yet. The ring road over there has traffic on it. You might be able to see. It's kind of it's not the bypass. The bypass is something else, but it is kind of a bypass. It's the old bypass. There's a new bypass that really bypasses Regina much more than the old ring road bypassed Regina. Anyway, that's the ring road. There's so much traffic over there. There's a few people out here gardening, it looks like. This one is actually bigger than the, I think it's probably bigger. Yeah, I'd say it's bigger than the Grow Regina one that I often walk to. Not a lot of flowers showing, that's for sure. I've been doing, well, I've got a job doing some design layout work for the Pharmaceutical Association of Saskatchewan. So I did a lot of work on that today, billboards and digital billboards. And I was editing. Now I'm walking. People are starting to harvest and all that. Yeah, I have no idea how well my sound is coming through with this wind. May all just be rumble and noise, but that one has an actual fence around it. Seems a little grand. Their gazebo here is not as nice as the one at Grow Regina, which was designed by artist Vic Sakansky. I often showed it off. Nevertheless, there's a little bit of gazebo there. It has a barbecue on it. We walk down this way. Just to get off the dirt road. Now, if I go that way, I can walk right along the edge of town, but I also end up kind of trapped. So, I don't know if that's what I want to do or not. Guess we'll figure it out once we get to the end of the garden, which, as you can see, goes on and on. On and on and on. I don't believe the little crosses are meant to indicate graves. It's just the impression they give. Past its peak, that's for sure. I probably missed its peak while I was in England for those 12 days earlier this month. There's some tomatoes in there, not very red. Sometimes, oh, I can smell it. I can smell dill. There you can see the university in the distance there. That's Saskatchewan Technique over there. Used to be a hospital. Plains Hospital. My dad had heart surgery there a long time ago. Used to be the hospital that people came to. I don't know why, but at some point they decided they didn't want it to be a hospital anymore. Now it's Saskatchewan Technique, which used to be called SciAS. Okay, so I can go over there. I can go down there and walk right along the edge of town. I think I'd rather walk through around houses and stuff, though, so maybe I'll go this way. I'd have to get back up to the street. We'll see. In this neighborhood, the alleys are just overgrown lanes, usually, which I've walked along and can be cool, but sometimes there's a lot of long grass to wave through. That corn? Probably. Corn is as high as an elephant's eye. Whatever that is, it's about the height of an elephant's eye. Yeah, so everybody has fences, so you can't really just you end up going all the way down to the edge of the city, which I have done, and I think today I'll go this way. Go back towards the street. Come down the western edge of the garden. I don't know what the formal name of this garden is. Oh, there's some good-sized sunflowers there. I don't know what the formal name of this garden is. I'm sure it has one. Also, if I walk where there are buildings, I'll have somewhat less wind to contend with. Wind and contend almost rhyme, but they don't really. One is an end, the other is an end. A distinction often lost. This is the kind of brilliant commentary that you walk with me to hear. Right, so that's the community garden, whatever it's called down here. We're in the southern edge of town. This is some sort of equipment building. I presume for the city. It doesn't have a sign on the back of it, so it's hard to be sure. Doesn't have any cars around it either. A lot of traffic. There's a lot of construction going on. The traffic patterns are all weird. These people are clearly being diverted from somewhere else. There's also some sort of university building over here. At least it was, a university building for research. I don't think this is that. although perhaps that is because that seems to be some sort of weird art installation. There's no sign on the building. I have no idea. Okay, let's try this road. This is Grant Road, if you're following along on Google Maps, which you probably aren't. It doesn't take too long walking this way. 20 minutes or so, I think, and you come to South Albert. I have walked here before. It's just been a while because, again, I haven't really had access to a car until recently. Now I do. My daughter is off in London at school. So the second car is all mine. Not a old neighborhood, but not new either. These are like 50s, 60s houses, I would say. Probably 60s. Oh, I don't know. What I think of as 60 houses were probably built in the 50s, so maybe they are 50s. The houses I was jealous of when I was a kid because we always lived in weird apartments. Oh, it'd be so cool to have a house in a neighborhood like this. But I didn't. I grew up out in the countryside, kind of, but not on a farm. Once we left Tulia, Texas, anyway. Okay. I want to get stuck, but I think if I go this way, it'll still carry me around to the right. Not really trying to get to South Albert. I'm just kind of randomly wandering here. We'll go down this way. Zigzagging here. Some of these streets only have sidewalks on one side. This is not one of them, however. I wasn't sure. I thought it might be. I have sunglasses on, so it's actually hard to see anything. Not that anybody has said anything on here yet. Oops, watch out for that branch. Too late. See, this is what the alleys look like here. You can walk down them, but you never know when there's going to be water or something hiding in the grass. Well, having come this way, I don't have much choice but to carry on around to the left now. I think there's one more main street down there that takes you just this side of the houses that are right up against the edge of town. I always think of these as Brady Bunch neighborhoods. Yeah, 50s and 60s these houses would have been built, I would guess. Maybe into the 70s. I'll bet you the neighborhood was first built in the 50s or 60s. I don't know how to find out. I guess I could find out, but it doesn't really seem worth the effort. probably recycling day in this neighborhood today too. It wasn't our neighborhood, although perhaps not, since that's, oh no, there's two over there too. So it must have been recycling here as well. Wednesdays, they do either recycling or garbage. They do food garbage every Monday. Regular garbage and recycling alternate on Wednesdays, in our neighborhood anyway. Oh, here's another alley. That doesn't look so bad. Let's go this way. Gives you a chance to look into people's backyards. At least the ones that don't have high fences, like this one. It's a bit more like walking through the forest, I guess. I think there may be a park up here in another block or so, it looks like. They probably call these lanes, not alleys. I think they have to be wide enough for, vehicles that are getting. Oh, there's a park over here. Shall we take the park? At least a little bit. Get a look at the south side of town. And there's a dog. There's always a dog. This is Shannon Road. Yeah, I knew that. Shannon Road. So the houses on the south side of Shannon Road are very much up against the edge of town. Oof. So Regina has lots of green space, and this is one of them. Right up against the ring road there, the cars zipping by. I'm going to stick to the shadier spots. Ooh. I can take another lane out of here, so. And again, I'm sure there's more park at the end of the lane. Sorry I don't twist my ankle on the uneven ground back here. Making sure my microphone is actually on. Probably should be charged after every walk because it gives no warning before it goes dead. So I guess we're walking down the lane between Shannon Road. No, I guess we're just south of Shannon Road. Or is that Shannon Road? South of Shannon Road. I don't know what that road's called. Pretty sure it'll curve around again though. I find these spaces interesting. You don't feel like you're in the city. Exactly. Yeah. I thought it was a spot of red leaves, but it's actually a red awning. Another glimpse of someone's backyard. Not a very interesting backyard, no offense. More shade, more backyards. Somewhere I will intersect another actual road, I'm sure. Pretty sure. Otherwise, I will end up in a park right down at the corner where the exit comes off the ring road onto Albert Street. Ow. Yeah. You could twist an ankle back here, especially when you can't really see the ground, which between the plants and the sun is definitely the situation. Trying to be careful, but you really can't see where the unevenness is. If I suddenly cry out in pain and fall to the ground, someone call for help. If anyone's watching, which I can't actually tell. I can't see the screen at all at the moment. Yes, very, very dim. It's not that the screen is dim, it's just that my eyes have adjusted so much to the sunlight, even with the sunglasses on. Oh, but here's a nice shady bit. I think it is a bit damp in this grass too. There you go. Not quite to that big park yet, I wouldn't think. So let's see what we find at the end here. Probably had enough of the lanes. I'll maybe move back to the road. This was probably the most interesting lane anyway. So what's happening to our left, road-wise? Yeah, that's what I thought. It's kind of a cul-de-sac, so we have to go back up here to Shannon Road. And I'll check the time. How long have I been walking? School's out. And I've been walking for 23 minutes, so maybe I will start wending my way back. I'll be working my way back to you, babe. We'll go up this way. Yep, there are all sorts of elections coming up. Unfortunately, not a federal election, since there are many of us who would dearly love to have the opportunity to vote out our current prime minister. There was a confidence motion today in the NDP in the Bloc Québécois propped up the Liberal government, so we're still stuck with Trudeau. There's also provincial election coming up and civic election coming up, so the streets are going to sprout with campaign signs, which I will never put on mine, but people do. Well, I might put one. If I did, though, it would be the Hamilton poster, and it would be vote for Hamilton. Man is non-stop. Elect Carla Taylor Brown for what? Regina Public School Board trustee. I have to do some research before I decide who to vote for things like that. This will be Grant Road, which is where the cars actually park, so if we just walk down Grant Road. take us back to the car. Another lane. But I'm done with lanes, so stick to the road from now on. One thing about the wind is, even though it's really hot, it hasn't felt that hot because it keeps, I guess, drying off the sweat, which cools you down. Kind of the whole point of sweat. What I noticed in London was that it was so humid compared to here, but even when it wasn't all that hot, it still sweated like crazy in museums and places like that. The actual air temperature wasn't that high, but the humidity meant you didn't cool down the way you do in a drier climate. Ours is pretty dry here. All right, now we're on the homeward. Not a soul has said hello to me. I'm feeling neglected. The sun behind me now, I've got my sunglasses up, I can see the screen better, but there has not been so much as a howdy do. Whitmore Park, is that where we are? Maybe. Probably, since that's what's on the bus. Yep, school's out. Teenagers heading home. If I were him, I wouldn't have waited for me. And Crawford, Ward 1, so that's civic election. Wards are always civic election. I haven't actually dropped the writ, as they say, for the provincial election, but everybody knows it's coming. Another sure sign of fall is the mountain ash berries showing on the trees. Cul-de-sac there too. There comes a police car. Nope, went that way though. Seems to be in a hurry. It's not looking for the strange guy that was walking down the lanes, which would be me. I'm not strange, but I might appear that way. Not quite curvy, Grant. Yes, that's where she lives. It's good. I was not looking forward to passing her because then they discover you've been following them with the camera. It'd be somewhat awkward. Definitely recycling day here too with all the blue bins. Of course, if you threw a lot of carbonated beverages into them, they'd be fizz bins, and bonus points to anyone who gets that reference. Fizz bin. All right, I'll tell you, it's from Star Trek. Original series. They got been working on that one. Got some sort of new siding on it soon. Well, soon. Our little extension has taken more than 2 years and it's not done yet. It's only 67 square feet. But it's probably the last time we'll have any exterior construction done. We need to have the roof on the garage redone. At some point, it might be nice to do the kitchen, but doesn't mean we'll do it. Money, money, money. Oh, they have a fountain. It's always nice to see on a hot day. Boy, I walked a lot further west than I thought I did. Three or four more blocks to the car. Didn't seem like I'd walked that far. Here's where Shannon Road begins. That would be where I turned left and went down that way to begin with. So, but I was walking on the other side of the street, so not quite repeating myself. You can see how windy it is as we get closer to where you can feel it. Look up at the higher trees. A lot windier out on the prairie. That's why I decided not to walk out there today. I went past those people working earlier. Ramjack. Not sure what a ramjack is, but that's their truck. Something to do with foundations, I would guess. Foundation repair contractors. There you go. Our foundation is cracked, but doesn't seem to be cracked in a way that causes a problem. Good crack, not a bad crack. As I mentioned, our house will be 100 years old in 2 years. We'll have to have some sort of big centennial party, I guess. Should invite 100 people for its 100th. No, we won't do that. It wouldn't hold 100 people. I'd hold 20 in a pinch, but even that would be pushing it. And only half those people would be able to sit down. Although at the deck, we could do maybe, yeah, well, and even then, everybody could sit down, but you'd have to use the deck. Which at least we have. That is done, finally. And there's the community garden again. So you can tell we're getting close to where we started, or where I started. Remember when you joined me. I'm thirsty. The wind has dried me out significantly. And they just call it community gardens, so not a very exciting name, but accurate, I guess. Someone really needs to replace their Canadian flag there. Looks like it's been flying over a battlefield. That one. Just up here. Another block or two. One more block, I think, because it was right down at the end where I crossed the street. It was actually a longer walk than I thought I was going to end up doing when I turned back around and came back. But it'll be a good 45 minutes at least, I think. 40 for sure, maybe 45. And nobody so much as said hi. There's the car. So I will stop here. And thanks for walking with me, even if you didn't say hi. And I'll be back. I'll be out on the east end of town tomorrow because I have a dentist appointment out there, so I can expect to walk out there tomorrow. Bye for now.